Hello! Today I will be discussing our 3D matrix reality and what I personally am seeing from my perspective as being an awakened individual. Okay, so the reason that people are using the word matrix is because our reality is a lot like the matrix, where you have a lot of people in this system that are asleep. They are not aware of any higher realities. They're just not aware. They're not thinking about anything like that. They're just going about their day and they're living in this reality, which I totally get because I've lived in that reality. So I can identify with it and I can understand it a lot. And it's you have your little routines and you go about your day and you do this and you do that, and that is your reality. There is no kind of questioning anything. There's you might think about how big space is and shit like that, but your thoughts generally are just within that 3D matrix system. I wonder what I'm gonna have for TV tonight. Oh shit, how am I gonna pay my fucking bills is a big one for a lot of people. And that's the reality that they're experiencing. They're not experiencing anything else. But people are waking up. Like I said in the Great Awakening video, people are waking up on different levels. And there are a lot of different levels to wake up on. Unlike me, who's had a full-on just downloads of information and being told who I am, that I'm not just this character I'm playing. I'm playing the role of Elena, but I am a lot more than that. I'm not just this three-dimensional character. I am a lot more, and I'm a big part of what's going on. Even though from where I am, I'm I'm not really doing anything. They're you are, because of the role that you have taken on. I'm I must be crazy for coming here. They're no, you came here for a reason. You came here because a call went out. There was so much suffering that a call went out, and all these other higher beings and souls and things like that heard this call, and they chose to come to Earth now to have this experience, to go through this awakening, to go through ascension and stuff like that, to kind of my guides told me that I'm a game changer. That's why I came here, is to change the game. And a lot of what I've experienced is visions and that. And it was visions of a really dark reality. And they're do you want this to be your reality? And I could see how it was manifesting. I could see these kind of dark intentions and that, and this dark reality. And then I'd have visions and they would ask me, they would say, do you want this to be your reality? And I'd be no, that's not what I want for my reality. This is not what I want to experience in my lifetime. No. And they're that's fine. These other beings do not have the power. They don't have the power to create this for you. If that's not what you want to experience, and you're in a free will zone, you're in a free will realm of reality, you have free will, even though people will argue that, but you have free will. And they cannot create this for you. This is not what you want to experience. This is actually not what you came here to experience. You came here to experience something different. So, they cannot create what they want. They want to create this dark reality. You can see it reflected in society quite a bit. And you can see it just we're heading rather towards a utopian society, towards a dystopian society, with like things that they're putting into place, and like just designs. Like I posted something on Facebook the other day, and it was like there's these spikes, kind of like pyramid shaped spikes, that they're putting underneath bridges so homeless people cannot go and shelter from the rain. You know, it's like that kind of thing, which is completely, you know, there's no compassion, there's no love, there's no caring, there's nothing like that in that design for our future. That's just, you know, really kind of cold and horrible thing to do to people that are already suffering. And that, like, you know, can't have them on the streets, got to have these spikes and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, fair enough. I mean, I could talk for hours about how they could in an instant, with like the snap of their fingers, they could change everything for all of us. But they choose not to. That's their choice, you know, and that's fine. And, you know, whatever. The laws of the universe will come into play, cause and effect, karma, everything like that coming into effect, and it's like you know, more people are waking up from this kind of 3D reality and starting to question things a lot more, and that although they're not seeing themselves as like infinite beings, they are beginning to question their reality. And I've had like a lot of people recently, like just hearing random conversations in bars and stuff like that, like everyone's kind of talking about the elite and this and that and everything else, and, you know, really sort of waking up to that side of things. You know, there's a lot to wake up to. It's like, you know, it's a really tough process, and everyone can see the corruption and everyone can see the bullshit, and like nobody really knows what to do about it. And that, but even seeing it is kind of like, you know, it's shifting and changing the world because people are aware of it. And that, and it's like, you know, we're waking up from this kind of sleep where we identify with this character that we're playing within this realm of reality. So I'll be identifying with Elena, mother of 3, photographer. That is my character that I'm playing within this realm. And then I've woken up to, oh fuck, that's not all I am. That's not like everything that's going on. There's a lot more fucking going on than just that. And there's a lot more to me than just that. Like, my guides will say, this is you, and they'll kind of like say, right, this is what you've done, this is why you have PTSD, because you've had these experiences, and this is what you came here and you chose to do, and we did say it was too much, and, you know, you chose to do it, but you chose to do it for a reason, and, you know, this is like your reality, this is who you wanted to become. You wanted to wake up to your infinite self. You wanted to have like existential crisis. You wanted to experience all of this shit. And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, that fucking sounds like the type of stupid thing I do as well. It just sounds like me. So I'm like, yeah, I can totally get that. And I sort of look around at people and I wonder, like, you know, where their level of consciousness is at, where their awareness is at, and everything like that. And the role that I've taken on is, you know, that of kind of, you know, I've taken on the dark forces. And that, I mean, since I woke up, I started getting fucking attacked. They knew that I'd woken up and I just started getting attacked. If I'd been on my own experiencing shit, then I'd think I was off my fucking tree. but other people around me have experienced it as well, and they felt the same sort of energies that I've been talking about in my videos. So I know I'm not alone in my experiences. So I know, like, you know, there's something going on, there's a bigger picture going on here. Even if I can't physically see it, it's like not manifested in front of me, it's still shifting and changing, and the world is waking up to this kind of thing. And I've like listened to what his name, David Stanley, I think his name is. He does a podcast with Jay Campbell, and listening to his experiences, and he was saying, you know, he saw this entity. He was involved in a traumatic situation, and he saw this entity, and it was feeding off the trauma. And that, so like, other people have experienced this type of thing. They've experienced the entities and stuff like that. They have experienced it. So that in itself, you know, makes me kind of think, right, okay, not so batshit crazy. That like this looks like it could be our reality. You know, I'm still very open-minded about everything, because I'm like, you know, like, the fucking shit that goes on in my head is like, wow, just what the fuck. And that, where I'm waking up and I'm like kind of being told who I am and what I'm doing, and, you know, like, I identify as a light worker and a starseed, because I know that I've lived other lives, and I know that I'm here playing this role for the light. You've got people playing a role for the dark as well, so you have the dark and the light. And I've come here as a game changer, so I came here to change the game from dark to light. And like, my weird experiences have shifted that in that direction, and I've had a lot of really dark experiences and a lot of really weird stuff happening, and I know that there are other people on the planet who are fulfilling a similar role, and they're like having similar experiences, because obviously I'm a part of a lot of spiritual groups and stuff like that, where people are more aware and more open to this kind of thing. And that, because like, we're kept in a box for a reason. We're kept in this bubble of reality, this 3D matrix, for a reason. You know, the other side, it's a game, basically. It's a game, and the other side have been playing their role, but the souls have been suffering through this role. There's been so much suffering that a call went out, and then a load of souls came to Earth to change the game, and that's why, like, we're waking up to seeing outside of this kind of created world, like this world that's been created for us, so we perceive reality as a certain way. And we're not taught about things like spirituality and, you know, who we are as humans. We're kind of like indoctrinated into thinking like, you know, human nature is a bad thing, like, you know, that we're bad, and all the problems on the planet is because of human nature, and that's who we are, that we're bad and we're shit and we're this and we're that. And, you know, we're not sort of taught about our true divine nature or our connection to the divine or anything like that. We're not taught that, like, for a reason, because it's like this system of control and that. And when you can see past it, and you can see kind of like the other side of things, and then you become aware that you are creating your own reality and stuff like that, then you want to create better. You could be like me and get stuck in a fucking paradox, which I had to work my own way out of. I just didn't know how to get out of this fucking paradox, where I find that I'm creating through fear, and then I'm afraid of creating through fear, so I'm creating through fear. And I'm stuck in this paradox of creating through fear. and then I have to like work out how I can kind of like get out of this paradox of creating through fear. How do I do that? I have to start creating through love, which is like the opposite of fear. So like the decisions that I'm making, am I doing it through love or am I doing it through fear? If I'm doing it through love, then I'm not in this paradox and I have nothing to fear. So the paradox is kind of gone anyway. And, you know, I'm creating my reality through love. And that. So, you know, like, just the whole awakening process is fucking insane. And, like, a lot of people will listen to this and be like, oh my god, she's fucking crazy. And they're not wrong. And I am proud to be crazy. And I'm like grateful that I've come here at this time to do what I've done. I just took on so much, but that's what I chose to do. And I have memories of choosing to do it. And it's like, I don't know how reality is going to unfold. I have my visions, so I know that I'm going in the right direction. Like, I had visions of my children from 5 years ago when they were like 8 and 10 of who they are now, and that could have gone any way, but my visions are who they are now. So I know that I've done something right. Because if my visions were different and they were like different people and they were having a different experience and everything like that, then I would have been like, oh fuck, well I fucked up somewhere along the line. But my visions are them, that I've seen them now in this time. So I know that I'm on the right path. Okay, I'm kind of failing at certain things on my path and everything like that, and I've kind of fucked up and stuff like that, but you know, apparently it's all for a reason, and I shouldn't be too hard on myself, and you know, just go with the flow. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to do, like having this whole kind of consciousness and this like reality where I am not just Elena, that I am here for a reason, that I have come here for a reason, and then like seeing reality unfold to reflect that, and it is reflecting it. And a lot of people are waking up, and a lot of people are seeing things differently. They're not seeing things the same way that I'm seeing things. There are certain people out there who are seeing things the same way that I'm seeing things, but like not everyone is seeing it. And you know, it's a lot to wake up to, and I can understand why it's a slow process of awakening for the masses, because if it was a fast process, then it would cause so many problems, because it's such a different reality. It would cause like all these issues and that, and like people would be fucking psychotic, and they'd be fucking depressed, and they'd have all these mental health problems and that, because the reality is so far removed from their reality, their little bubble of reality that they're in now. It's like I tried to talk to a psychiatrist about it, and he turned around and said, I'm a man of science, because that was his belief. Like, he believed in science. And I'm sat there and like, you know, I've thought about it deeply and I've reflected on it, and that in alone is like him saying, I don't believe you, I think you're crazy. It's like me saying I'm Jewish and him saying I'm Muslim, and then him saying I don't believe what you believe, so you're crazy, I'm going to medicate you. He doesn't believe in my reality. He thinks it's bullshit. He thinks spirituality is like, you know, nothing to it or whatever he thinks. He just doesn't believe it because he's a man of science. And it's like, then the words science is the new religion have come to me, and I'm like, I can see that, how everyone wants this to be proved by science and that to be proved by science. If it's not proved by science, I don't believe in it. I don't believe it because it's not proved by science. It has to be proved by science or else I don't believe it. Okay, fair enough. Right, that's your belief system. That's your new religion, is science. Everything has to be proved by science. That is your new indoctrination. That is how you view reality. I'm telling you, I'm having these experiences and you're saying, no, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, but other people around me are experiencing it too. No, you're fucking crazy. Okay, that's what you want to believe. That's what you believe. You know, I have to make my own peace with myself and with my reality to kind of, you know, be me. Be comfortable in my own skin, because you're giving me these labels and these labels are affecting the way that I fucking feel about myself. You know, I can see this like bigger reality unfolding and you're telling me that I'm this and that I'm that and that I've got this problem and I've got that problem and this is probably wrong with me and that's probably wrong with me and I need to be on medication for this and you know, and I'm like, fucking hell, I've just had a spiritual awakening. Doesn't exist. What the fuck? Who are you to tell me what does and doesn't exist? Do you know everything about everything? No, you've learned shit out of a book. You know, but that's their belief. You can't expect people to change their beliefs and that. Like, I can't expect people listening to this video to go, yes, we're in a matrix reality. No, because that's fucking crazy. Like, they're not going to think that way because they haven't had the same experiences as me, so they're not going to see it. You know, some people might kind of look at their reality and go, it is very similar to the Matrix, and I do identify with this character that I'm playing, and maybe I am more than that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm supposed to be infinite. I have infinite potential and infinite possibility. I am an infinite, like, being here. So maybe there is more to it than that. I don't know, like, whether people would think that way. But, yeah. Whatever, I'm just doing me, and other people are doing them on their level, and I do get why the awakening process is a slow process, because like it can literally fraggle your fucking brain and that, and I mean it makes you question everything as well, and some people just aren't ready to do that. Like, they're just not ready. They're not ready to have their little bubble of reality burst, because there's nothing wrong with their bubble of reality. It's all like, oh, sunshine and roses, and yeah, this is brilliant. And so why would they want their reality to change? They wouldn't. They don't perceive, like, you know, the control and the oppression and everything like that. They don't perceive that. All they see is their little bubble of reality. And, you know, I'm over here in my little bubble of reality, which is totally fucking different from their bubble of reality. You know, both bubbles of reality are completely right. Nobody's wrong and nobody's right. They're perceiving things from their level. They're perceiving things from where they are. That is their perception of reality, and that is their reality, so it's right. I'm perceiving things from my reality based on my weird fucking experiences and what I'm being told by my guides, so, you know, that is right as well, because that's what I'm experiencing, and, you know, that's just my reality. And you know, it's like nobody's right and nobody's wrong, and, you know, they can believe science because science backs up a lot. So that's fine, you know, that's their reality. You know, I'm not here to I'm here to help people who are waking up. That's what I'm here for, to help people who are waking up. I'm not here to fucking shift people's perception or their reality. If I do that, then cool, you know, whatever, open your mind a bit. You know, that's fine, but I'm here to help people going through a hard time. That's why I do these videos, also to help myself and that, because I've been through fucking, like, so much shit. And that, you know, I'm just coming out the other side of it. Like, I still fucking sit here and I'm like, I can't do this. I just can't fucking take anymore. I can't do this. And I'm, like, praying for help. And I know, like, if I'm praying for help, I need to be praying for other people as well. Like, you know, I'm not just thinking about myself, I'm like praying for everyone going through a fucking hard time. Because I know because of what I've been told by my guides and that there's power in prayer, there's power in, like, you know, what we're putting out to the world. There's power in that. Like, I look at people now and I see them as a reflection of me, and that, but I see the divine in them, and it makes me laugh because, like, I listen to them and I see myself reflected in everyone. And like, you know, on different levels, like somebody may be really fucking grumpy and moany. Fuck yeah, I moan, I'm grumpy, you know. I'm not always moany and I'm not always grumpy. Like, if I'm having a good day, I'm having a good day. If I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. You know, I sometimes feel like maybe I am fucking bipolar because my emotions are all over the place and I don't know how I'm going to feel one day to the next or one moment to the next because I'm being fucking bombarded with information all the time. And I know I need to meditate more. And I, like, you know, that's hard when you're not in the right headspace for it. That's really hard to do when you're not in the right headspace for it. Like, today, I'd be able to do it. Yesterday, no fucking way. I felt like shit yesterday. I just felt shit. And I was praying and I was like, I can't fucking do this. I felt like I was going to burst into tears. I just felt so shit. You know, it's not easy being the only gay in the village. Or the only awake one around you. And that, but I do see people waking up on different levels. And that, it's quite funny. So I know, like, we're heading in the right direction. Like, from what I've said in previous videos, I know we are heading in the right direction. I know that, like, nothing really, really, really bad is going to happen to us. Like, the world is going to change for the better. And, like, this is just the beginning of it. This is just kind of the beginning of people waking up. You know, it's the Great Awakening. You know, people need to wake up to shit. And that so we can create a better world. So we can all come together and create a better world. This awakening needs to happen. Right. Anyway. Banged on. Enough. Yeah. Bye-bye.